It's a brand new Torah this week, and just like we were doing some shurim in L'kotei Sichos, Lili Nishmas, Shmuel ben Yomin ben Yitzchak Tzvi, we want to do this also, Lili Nishmas, Shmuel ben Yomin ben Yitzchak Tzvi, a very important man in Tsfat, and also Lishmas of Elazar Mordechai ben Gedalia Aaron. So, in Torah, when it starts Sefer Shemos, it talks about the connection between Geulus Mitzrayim and the Geula that's going to be with Mashiach. Meher b'yameinu amen. And by the way, it's the Rambam's yahrzeit. So we learn, where do we learn to say that whenever we mention the Geula, Meher b'yameinu amen? Because the Rambam writes, Sefer Ayad, where he's talking about the Para Aduma, he says that there were 9 of them, and the 10th one is Mashiach's going to do Bimheira Be'ameinu Amen. And the Rebbe asks that the whole Rambam is a sefer of halachis, and where does it sugepast? Where does it fit to put into a sefer halachis tefillah? Now there are tefillahs inside of the Rambam, but that's where he's writing that this tefillah should be said like this, and this tefillah should be said like that. It's about the halachis. So if every word of the Sefer Yad is halacha, then we learn something from the fact that when the Rambam mentions Mashiach, he says Bimheir b'yameinu amen, and that means that the halacha, when we ask for the Geula, and we ask for Hashem to come out in the world, we say right away Bimheir b'yameinu amen. We daven, and that too is halacha. That when we mention Mashiach, that we should daven for him to come now. And it says by going into Mitzrayim, it mentions it in Parshas Vayigash, and it mentions it in Parshas Shemos. And then it says Yored Yeradnu, we went down, and it's 2 different Yerides. And when Hashem is going to take us out, it says Alcha Gam Alei. He's going to take us out in 2 different ways. But when Hashem promised to take us out of Mitzrayim, in this parsha, he just says he's taking us out 1 aliyah. So when's the second aliyah? And the answer is the second going out is when Mashiach comes. It says Ki meitzeischa me'eretz Mitzrayim arenu niflois. Like the days I took you out of Egypt, I'll show you wonders, which means that the Geula, the future Geula, is going to be similar to the Geula of Mitzrayim, and it's going to happen in the same way that the Geula of Mitzrayim happened, which is where you see that Moshe comes and announces, and then for a while there's nothing, and then starts the Geula. And so too, there were major things that happened. You had the fall of the Soviet Union and everything. Around the 3-way mark, around 3/4 through the last 1,000 years, which was 5750, and then you have nothing, and that's part of the process. But in that process itself, it could be sped up. It's a time for us to do our part to do everything. But in any case, you have the Geula done through the same way that we were zeicha to leave Mitzrayim. It says that we were enslaved in Mitzrayim, b'cheimer v'venim u'chol aveda basada. And Chazal tell us that the same thing in this golus. B'cheimer dakal v'cheimer, that the Torah, which is, it's the Mitzrayim said, the Mitzrayim did something which was called v'yimarus chayim. They embittered our lives, and our life is Torah. Ki im chayinu, that's our life force. And in golus, the Torah is very hidden, and everything is done through a lot of there are a lot of questions and everything till we get to the halacha. And so it says b'cheimer with clay da kal v'cheimer. That hints to the idea that we have to extrapolate from the Torah, like we have to take a minor thing and learn out a big thing. If this is the case here, then for sure it's the case there. If on Yantiv it's Aser, when certain things are allowed, then for sure on Shabbos it's Aser. That's Kal V'Chemer. So the law might not be clear, but we learn it from somewhere else. Bilvenim is bricks. And there's something called Libun Hilchasa. Libun Hilchasa is the same word, but it means purifying. And the Levanim are called bricks because they're stuff that was put together. And when we purify the Torah in order to find the halacha, that's Libun Hilchasa. We go through all of the different Gemaras to find the real halacha. That's the way that's what Shulchan Aruch does for us, or what the Rishonim did for us, like the Rambam. L'chol Aveda Basadeh, there's the clear Mishnah, which is called like the cities. Those are the inside teachings. And then there's the Braises. Braises is called the teaching that's outside, so that's comparable to the field. So, because the Torah isn't set aside in front of us, we don't see the clear revelation of the Torah, that is a golus. And the same way that through working through the slavery in Egypt, we receive the Torah, so too by working and toiling through the Torah, we'll see the Pnimius HaTorah, the inner part, where we'll see Hashem face to face, eye to eye. It says, Ayin B'Ayin Yiru, which means we'll see the inner levels of Hashem in a revealed way. And that's the reward of Pnimius HaTorah. So, the Rebbe asks a question in a Maimer, how could you compare the two? One is back-breaking work, and the other one is fun, it's Geshmak, it's learning Torah. So the Rebbe brings down a Gemara at the end of Seita that Nebuchadnezzar was Zeiche to his Gadlus, to be the king of the world, for him, for his son, and for his grandson, because he walked 3 steps back for the Shekhinah. And for sure, every one of us has done much more than walk 3 steps back for the Shekhinah. So Am Yisrael is ready to bring that Geulah in a time that it's going to be eternally good. A time that all the nations are going to come to Hashem, like the Rambam ends off his yad with Mala Haaretz Deis Hashem K'mayim Layam Mechasim. That the knowledge of Hashem will fill the world just like water fills the sea. And may we have that.